T parameters. T stands for transmission parameters. It is also referred as ABCD parameters. Okay. T stands for transmission parameters. Okay. Also called as our ABCD parameters. It relates to voltage and current. Okay. We are expressing voltage and current at the input side. V1 and I1 are expressed in terms of V2, I2. Okay, V1 and V2 are V1 and I1. Input side parameters are what? Input voltage and input current. So input side parameters V1 and I1 are expressed in terms of output side voltage and output side current. So please note down it here it is minus. Okay, here it is minus I2. Okay, that is the important point you should remember. Here this part is very important. Minus I2 is important. Next, so you write V1 and I1. You write V1, you write V1 and I1 as V2 and minus I2, right? V1, I1 you write here. V2, V2 you write here. I2, I2 you write here. Next, write A, B, C, and D. This is minus I2. So that's why only for T parameters out of this combination, only for this T parameters, you have minus. Okay. So now you have only four variables Z, Y, T and H parameters. Only for T parameters, okay, V1 and I1 are expressed in terms of V2, I2 now. So for this I2, you have to write minus. Okay. After that, you can see here V1 and V2 are V1 and I1 are expressed in terms of V2. Here you have to write instead of plus I2, you have to write minus I2. Four variables are A, B, C, D. So these are called as T parameters. A parameters, B, C, and D parameter. So how to find value of A, how to find value of B, how to find the value of C. Let us see. It's automatically writing. Okay, let me use mouse only. So this one, I want to find A value. In order to find A value, what I have to make? This I2 is equal to 0. It is a current, no? How to make current is equal to 0? We have to open and I have to open. Which side it belongs to? I2. I2 belongs to output side. So output terminal, I have to open it. On you open I2 terminal, this I2 becomes 0, and again here also I2 is equal to 0, so that I can find out two parameters. The A parameter value I can find out, C value I can find out. A value is V1 by V2. It is a voltage by voltage, input voltage by output voltage. It's a reverse voltage gain. It's a ratio of voltage by voltage. It is a reverse. Output by input means forward. So A is V1 by V2. It's a reverse voltage gain, and it is a ratio of voltage by voltage, so no unit. Okay. So you can see here when the output side is open circuited, when the output port is open circuited, okay, then I2 is equal to 0. I can find out A value as V1 by V2. It is called as reverse voltage gain. Why it is called as reverse voltage? Normally gain is output by input. It is input by output. That's why it is a reverse voltage gain, and it has no unit. Voltage by voltage, no unit. Similarly, another parameter when I2 is equal to 0 from the equation number 2, okay, C is equal to I1 by V2. I1 by, it is a current by voltage. Current by voltage. It is a admittance. It is a admittance. uh, Sorry, volt. I by V, no? I by V. Yeah, it is transfer admittance. Next, I have to find out B value and D value. In order to find B and D value, V2 should be 0. How to make voltage equal to 0? This should be short circuited. Output side, if you short circuit, output side, if you open circuit, I2 becomes 0. Output side, if you short circuit, voltage becomes 0. When voltage becomes 0, these two terms are zeros. Now, B value is equal to V1 by I2. D value is equal to I1 by I2. So, I1 by I2 is a reverse current gain because input current by output current. B value is voltage by input voltage by output side current. So it is a reverse transfer impedance. This is I1 by I2 is a reverse current gain. So when the output terminal is shorted and VT is equal to 0, B is equal to voltage by current. So V1 by I2. So B value is voltage by current. So it is transfer impedance and its unit is ohms because it is a ratio of voltage by current. Similarly, when D is equal to D is equal to I V2 is equal to 0. When V2 is equal to 0, I1 by I2. So it is a reverse current gain because it is input current by output current. If it is output by input, forward current gain, and it is a ratio of current by current, so it is no unit. This one is no unit. Voltage by voltage also no unit. This one unit is mo. It is a mo because it is admittance. It is impedance. Unit is ohms. It is current by current, no unit. This is also voltage by voltage, no current. It is input voltage by output voltage, so reverse voltage gain. It is input current by output current. It is a reverse current gain. So how to express this transmission parameters? I think that is not required here. This is actually applicable for transmission line where we are using transmission lines are there, no? For signal transferring signal for long distance, we are connecting towers. So there we are going to use T parameters. That's why it's called for transmission parameters. It is used in transmission lines. Okay, in the TLWG we'll study in detail transmission lines on separate chapter is there. So you study, they will just ask you what are ABCD parameters. You have to tell what is A, is a ratio of watt by watt. Why it's called is this, you have to write all these details. Okay, define ABCD parameters or transmission parameters means you have to first statement, you have to write input voltage and output current. V1 and I1 are expressed in terms of V2, I2. Input side voltage, input side current are expressed in terms of output side current, voltage and output side current. So while writing, be careful that first is V1, next I1. Don't write I1 here, V1 here. V1, I1 and here V2, I2. V1, I1. If I write I1 and V1 and if I write V2, I2, then wrong. First for A, V1, I1 should be expressed in terms of V2, I2. That is important. So you have to remember it is expressed as express V1 and I1 in terms of V2 minus I2. Then also which one you have to write first, V1 or I1 you have to write first. That is important. V1 you have to write first, next I1 here. And for only for T parameters, you're using minus I2. So after that you can find out what is A, B, C, D by making this I2 is equal to 0 and V2 is equal to 0. I2 is equal to 0 means you have to open the output terminals. V2 is equal to 0 means you have to short circuit. After that you can find out by seeing the two equations. Thank you.